Don't use your fingers and toes as toys. You'll be sorry. And don't leave them alone.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay.
Every Thursday night at 7 on Kcaa, NBC News Radio, AM 1050.
Kcaa invites you to listen to professional money manager Bill Gunderson every weekday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. Bill Gunderson is a highly respected money manager. He's a regular contributor to MarketWatch, TheStreet.com, and Town Hall Finance. Gunderson has appeared many times on the Fox News Channel, the Fox Business Network, and CNBC. You can hear Bill Gunderson's daily insight into the market at 7 a.m. weekdays, right here on Kcaa, the station that leaves no listener behind.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
I'm Stephanie Shelton, CNBC Radio. When Wall Street opens for business in just over an hour, futures indicate another lower open. Again, mostly China's doing. The government put about $20 million into money market funds, but the Shanghai index still ended slightly down. There are more reports from Apple's Chinese supply chain that Apple has dropped the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for the iPhone 7 and said the earbuds will be wireless. Target CEO shuffling his executive team again, removing a 30-year veteran from head of its stores and moving a human relations exec, Yana Potts, to chief stores officer. Activision Blizzard buying Major League Gaming, which produces and broadcasts video game competitions. Activision is creating a new esports division. Amazon says its sellers had a big year with more than 23 million items ordered on Cyber Monday, 40% more than last year. I'm Stephanie Shelton, CNBC Radio.
Did you know 1 in 50 people has a brain aneurysm? Every 18 minutes, a brain aneurysm erupts. Half of brain aneurysms result in death. Will it strike you or someone you love? The Brain Aneurysm Foundation is the globally recognized leader in brain aneurysm education, awareness, advocacy, support, and research funding. The Brain Aneurysm Foundation, raising awareness, ending fear. To learn the facts at bafound.org. That's bafound.org.
Sometimes being a genius would really come in handy.
Karen, final question. You'll either walk out of here with $1 million or nothing. In what year did the Hicksonian astrophysical capital city fourth president invented? You have 5 seconds.
But thankfully, you don't need to be a genius to do your own taxes, because TurboTax helps turn complicated questions into simple ones that you can answer. Intuit TurboTax. Taxes done smarter. Smarter.
Hey folks, Pat Matthews here to tell you about the newest and best way to sell products online. Maybe you've heard me talk about buysellmakeoffer.com on my internet radio station, Beatlesarama.com. Well, I'm here to fill you in on this enormously revolutionary way to sell your products online. You just need to forget about the way the other guys have taken more than their share from you when the sales were finalized. Look, it's happened to me over and over, and then I found buysellmakeoffer.com. They never charge you item fees. We just need your email address so we can let you know well in advance of the launch when you can load all your stuff to our server to sell. This is not an auction site. Just think of it as Craigslist on steroids. Using our resources along with Skype and videos, you just add your creativity to sell your items quickly and with no fees. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and sign up. The excitement is building toward our January 15th launch date. I've signed up to sell my stuff with buysellmakeoffer.com. You should too. buysellmakeoffer.com.
With your Tuesday news, I'm Jim Miller, CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind. Employees at the Inland Regional Center returned to work yesterday morning, just more than a month after 14 killed, 22 hurt at the site. Security officers checked badges at the parking lot entrance and the pedestrian entrance as part of the increased security measures at the IRC complex. Wind power has grown exponentially in California over the last dozen years. Now supplies enough energy to power over 1,188,000 homes. The Environment California Research and Policy Center notes that during 2014, wind turbines in California averted over 9 million tons of carbon dioxide pollution. That's the equivalent to removing more than 1.9 million cars from the road. Although the region's unemployment rate is much improved over the past 2 years, two of its largest cities among the worst for finding a job. Wallet Hub studied the nation's 150 largest cities and found that San Bernardino and Ontario were among the 10 worst to landing a job. Fresno and Stockton were at the bottom of the list. Irvine, California came in at number 7. Rancho Cucamonga, 80th, and Riverside, 113th. Back-to-back storms riding a strong Pacific jet stream of the Southern California region as El Nino gets the atmosphere juiced up again. Opening of the 2016 weather year will be an active one. The first of 4 storms came early yesterday. Storm 2 poised to strike later today with abundant rain, mounted snow, and strong winds. It'll be followed by another later on Wednesday. I'm Jim Miller, CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. It is a wet morning, and we've got a lot of activity on the freeways. In Chino, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 60 eastbound before Central Avenue. This involves 2 vehicles in the center divider. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between Main Street and 6/Maple Street. The 91 West is slow from Main to Maple. In San Bernardino, there's an accident. The left lane is blocked on the 15 southbound at Highway 138 in the Cajon Pass. A 4-car smash-up is blocking the left lane. One of the cars involved is on fire. Fire crews are on the scene. The drive below speeds from Oak Hill. In Temecula, stop-and-go traffic on the 15 southbound between the 79 Winchester Road and the 79 South Temecula Parkway. In Colton, an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 215 southbound at the I-10. Three vehicles are involved in a crash, with one in the center divider along the right side. And finally, in Corona, we have a closed on-ramp on the 91 westbound at Grand Boulevard. The on-ramp is closed until January 30th. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got a chance of rain. Cloudy skies, a high near 61. Tonight, rain likely, mostly cloudy, a low near 46. Rain and a high near 56 on Tuesday. Tuesday night, rain, cloudy skies and a low near 47. Wednesday, showers, cloudy and a high near 55. Wednesday night, showers, cloudy, a low near 44. Thursday, showers, cloudy and a high near 55. Thursday night, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a low near 44. Friday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy and a high near 56. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. It is a wet morning out there this morning.
Yes, it is.
We need the rain, but please be careful. If you see fast rising or moving water or water that you're not sure how deep it is, please stay away from it. Please stay away from it. Please stay away from it because you have no idea how powerful moving water is.
That's right.
So that's how people...
I actually saw a car get pushed off the road in about 10 inches to 12 inches of water that was moving fast across the road one time. They came driving across it thinking, I was sitting on one side and they were at the other. And I'm looking at it going, I'm not so sure. And I'm in a full-size Pontiac and they were in like a Honda. And they started across and I watched them get washed over and into the little ditch under the curb. And I went... and this was pre-cell phone days, so I backed up, went and found a payphone and called in 911 and let them know that there was somebody stuck on the road.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, see, it can happen. 10 inches of water. And I'm
Yeah.
sure they're looking at it thinking, oh, it's no big deal. But that water has power.
Yeah, and it was moving fast, pushed the car right off the road like there was nothing to it.
The scariest thing for me on a rainy day is a California freeway because people do not know how to adjust their driving.
No, they don't.
Yeah. It's amazing how just reducing your speed by about 10 miles an hour can make a huge difference in the amount of traction that you have, and people just need to realize that. So please, if you're listening, be safe.
Exactly. So lots of news still going on. I think the biggest news yesterday is that it's been a month. Yesterday was the anniversary, or the month-iversary, for lack of a better word, of the shooting in San Bernardino. And the Inland Regional Center employees went back to work, which, must have been an emotional day for them. Employees at the Inland Regional Center returned to work Monday morning, just more than a month after 14 were killed and 22 were wounded at the site. We are very happy to be back at our IRC home, said Lavina Johnson, executive director with the center. This has shown me our community stands strong. Around 7:30 a.m., employees started to drive and walk up to their workplace with a strong security presence around. However, security officers said most of the employees arrived early to avoid members of the media set up along Park Center Circle. A few braved the line of reporters and walked in through the checkpoint in the fence that still surrounds the campus. The fence will remain up until further notice. Security officers checked badges at the parking lot entrance and pedestrian entrance as part of increased security measures at the IRC complex. And it had to be traumatic. Even if they weren't in the room where the event happened, they worked in that building. That's their home away from home, so to speak.
Yeah, it's traumatic for everybody in the community, and even more so for those who were right there.
Yeah.
So, and the memorials are still up. People are still bringing flowers out there, still bringing candles out there. There's on the one that's on the corner of Waterman and Orange Show Road. There's a banner, and people have signed the banner, and it's still a sizable memorial. And I was thinking about maybe taking our Christmas poinsettias out there to add to the flowers.
Yeah, that might be nice, huh?
Yeah, and there are already some out there, but as a way of contributing something. I know it's just a symbolic gesture, but when something like this happens, you feel so helpless, and there's this desire to do something.
Yeah.
And that's why you see these memorials pop up.
Yeah, and besides going back to work, they do have counseling available for these employees and other services for them. Many of them actually went back to work about a week after the shooting, not at the building, but they had to work off-site and still continue to work. And so this is just their first time back in the building, and it's just got to be strange.
They serve families with children and adults with developmental disabilities, and so those families still have to be served.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happened at the office, the families still have to be served. So a lot of the social workers, they just they did their home visits, they did their follow-ups, they just didn't go back to the building.
Yeah.
But still, it's got to be, to walk back into that building has got to trigger something, even mildly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and those families too that go there for those services got to feel equally strange coming back into the building.
Indeed. Well, and I don't know when it's my understanding that the main building, that main room, the big conference room, is going to continue to be closed for quite a while.
Yeah.
And anybody who's worked, I think I said this before, anybody who's worked in the nonprofit community in the region has had a meeting in that building.
Yeah.
Because it's very large, and it's there for the community to use, and that will be weird for anybody to go back into that room who's been in that room.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building. It's just tragic. It's just tragic. So the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Rams all filed to relocate to Los Angeles. San Diego Chargers, St. Louis Rams, and Oakland Raiders have filed for the relocation to L.A. beginning in the 2016 season, the NFL said Monday night. The Chargers, who have played in San Diego for 55 seasons, announced the filing Monday night. In a video posted on the team's website, Chairman Dean Spanos blamed the inability of the city at the political level to get any kind of public funding or any kind of vote to help sustain the stadium. The Chargers walked away from negotiations with the city of San Diego and county in mid-June. NFL owners will meet in Houston next week, at which time they could approve a move for the Chargers or the Raiders or the Rams, who filed for relocation. The Chargers want to partner with the Raiders on a stadium in Carson. The relocation of a franchise requires 3/4 vote of the NFL clubs.
I'm kind of excited about this. I mean, we've gone without an LA football team for so long, and to have the possibility of 3 different teams coming to town.
It won't be 3.
No, I know.
Three's a lot.
Three's a lot, but I suspect we'll get at least 1, possibly 2.
I don't want the Raiders back.
Yeah.
I really don't. The Raiders
it's funny. The people I've talked to have all been adamant that, the Raiders or the Rams have a history here.
Yeah.
But the Chargers really aren't welcome. It's sort of like, I think that there's a lot of LA people who resent the fact that they've been in San Diego for so long and they've called that our local team up here, and they're over 100 miles away. It's not the local LA or the greater Los Angeles area's local team, and never has been.
Yeah.
And San Diego's been very proud of having their team. I honestly, I hope that they stay in San Diego. Of all of them, it seems to me like the Rams would probably be the most welcome back, although I know there's a lot of Raider fans around here.
Yeah, but Raider fans are scary. They are. They're just plain scary. And, I don't want that. I just don't want them back.
I think that's a little unfair. I mean, they like showing the crazies on television and stuff, but that's like saying, any fringe element of a group makes the whole group scary. And I think
they were voted by Sports Illustrated as the scariest things in sports. Raider fans
because they're good at makeup.
They are good at makeup. Well, and a lot of gangbangers affiliate with the LA Raiders.
Up in the Bay
or the Oakland Raiders.
Up in the Bay Area, Aaron, that's a big thing. They do the makeup.
You're funny. You're funny. No, but
I tease.
No, a lot of gangbangers affiliate with the Raiders. That's true.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just one vote. I'm not even one vote. I'm just one person.
Gangbangers can be football fans.
They are.
I'm excited that the Rams might come back up here. I've always been sort of a fan of the Rams. Not so much in the last few years just because they've just been so terrible. But, I would love to see them come back out here and start fresh. I think, though, that one may end up not being the team, though, because I apparently St. Louis just made a last-minute bid to try to keep them there and saying, hey, look, we'll help you with your stadium. So
why should taxpayer dollars go for building a stadium for billionaires and millionaires?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Why should that happen?
I kind of agree.
So
yeah, unless the city sees that there's some value in having that facility there because they can lease it out for other things, concerts and things like that.
We have to take a break. It is 6:16. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. When we get back, it'll be Todd's Tech Time. We'll be right back.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Are you looking for the right place to purchase your landscaping items? Well, come see us at Hydroscape. Hydroscape offers a large selection of irrigation products including Irritrol and Toro, such as their efficient precision nozzles. For 40 years, Hydroscape has been family-owned and operated, serving Southern California. With 17 locations, our knowledgeable and experienced staff is equipped to help you with all your irrigation, landscape, and outdoor living projects. Whether you're installing irrigation systems, wanting to maintain a healthy landscape, or simply create a beautiful lit space for outdoor entertaining, Hydroscape is the place to go. Visit our website at hydroscape.com for more information and find helpful articles on our blog. Or call our customer service center at 1-800-395-4477.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. This may be the perfect time to move forward with a new purchase. The feds have not yet increased short-term rates. When they do, we expect both rates and property values to increase. Today, you have an opportunity to qualify for a lower payment and more home than potentially even just a few months down the road. If you have VA eligibility, we can do up to 100% financing. We have loans with as little as 3.5% down, less than 20% down without mortgage insurance. Turned down because you can't qualify with your tax returns? We have special programs that we can use your assets to qualify you, and we have just come out with a bank statement program. If you can't qualify with your tax returns, but can show income through your bank statements, we might have a loan program just for you. There are many possible options that can make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner. Give me a call, Steve Alador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
And now it's time for another Support San Bernardino Spotlight.
Hi, my name is George Hahn. I am the Senior Minister at the Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. In the next few weeks, we would like to support San Bernardino by highlighting the outstanding things about our city. Today's program features Dennis Baxter from Habitat for Humanity.
Thank you, George. I'm very proud that Habitat for Humanity San Bernardino area has been serving the residents of the area since 1992, so that's 24 years of building homes and building hope. Each partner family participates in our own curriculum in the greater San Bernardino area that provides guidance and resources to a successful long-term experience as being a homeowner. We have financial literacy classes that they go through so they understand the difference between being a homeowner and being a renter. Our Brush with Kindness program helps out low-income folks with, simple chores around the house. And, of course, our Restore, located in Redlands, is a real part of our fundraising effort. So it's building homes, it's building hope. Folks can give us a call at 909-478-1176 or habitatsb.org.
This program was underwritten by Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. If you would like information about today's program, please contact me, Reverend George, by calling 909-883-7171. That's 909-883-7171.
Hey Mom, how'd you like to forget having to work like crazy just to make someone else rich? Earn great money from home so you can have the freedom to be the mom you want to be.
I'm a single mom, and when I found this opportunity, I was able to make $1,200 part-time my first month, fire my boss, and now work from home full-time around my kids.
Get free information from the Moms Business Network today. Just go to income16.com to learn how. Income16.com. You can start earning great money as soon as next week. Income16.com.
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
From my heart and from my hand, why don't people understand my intention?
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker. Ready for some tech time.
Ted, ready for some tech time. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Go ahead and take it, Todd.
Well, I thought it'd be a good time for us to talk a little bit about some of the different technologies and apps in particular that are available that can help you keep some of your New Year's resolutions. Do you guys do resolutions?
Sort of.
Not this year.
Sort of.
Because I break them by January 15th, so...
Yeah, I've always been one to kind of not do them that much. But, even if I do have some things that I like to do, I don't like to publicize it too much so that, when the 15th or 16th rolls around and I haven't done it, then I'm not publicly shamed. So if I have resolutions, I tend to keep them to myself. But one of mine this year was to sort of, I've kind of got on the back burner those 5 or 6 things that I've always said I kind of wanted to do when the time came about, and the time just, never seems handy. And so I thought, I'm going to try to take baby steps and do a few different things like that. And so I'll work on them. But some of these apps actually help you kind of move in that direction depending on what your resolutions are. And the first one is just a way to keep all of that stuff sorted to yourself. It's called 1Password. It's available on a variety of different platforms, iOS, Android, and Windows. You can do it on your laptop as well or on your Mac. And what it does is it gives you a single password to unlock all of your passwords, and then it integrates into a lot of different apps and web pages. So you can click on it within 1Password, and it'll launch the browser and automatically log you in.
I have to say, I use 1Password, and I love it.
I do too. Been using it for quite a while, and it's a terrific, absolutely terrific app. It allows you to create and use very complex passwords because you don't have to remember them. You just have to remember the one to get into the app, and you can make that one a fairly secure one too. And then And then you can use, a string of 25 random letters and numbers to log into, or more, to log into websites that allow that. And it allows you to adjust the app to the website, because some websites say, well, you have to have one capital letter and one non-letter character and one number, and it has to be 8 characters to 27 characters long. And so this will allow you to max that out to 27 characters, meet all the requirements, and keep your websites and your access secure, as well as things secure on your device, which is nice. So yeah, great app. A lot of people like to say, hey, one of the things I want to do is learn a new language. There's an app called Duolingo, and it basically turns learning a language into a game. Lots of phrases, ways to track what you're doing. It allows you to make things quick and easy, quick digestible bits and pieces, so you take the lessons while you're standing in line at the grocery store and things like that. So it's a great little app for expanding your vocabulary.
I actually use this one as well, and it is good. Except there are times when you have to talk to the app because they want to hear your pronunciation. Right. There are some, and they're different games, right? So you can choose which games you want to play, and so if you're going to be standing in line, you just don't play those games. Right,
yeah. And actually, that's a neat feature of it, is that you can actually speak to the app, which historically, your tutorial books and things like that that you learned from, there was no interaction. You can speak to it; it speaks back to you to tell you how to pronounce things. So it's really good use of the technology.
10 years ago, to get that technology would have cost you $1,000 or more, because that was like the cutting edge stuff to get the voice recognition software where it could hear you speak and then let you know how accurate you were. I mean,
if it was even available. I mean, the quality of the stuff that they've got now wasn't even available then.
Yeah.
It was much more rudimentary and cost, like you said, thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's amazing that you can now have that as just a little app on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the German app, and I have it for German and for Spanish. Now, for German, it's about keeping my skills up. And for Spanish, I'm complete newbie to Spanish, so that one's a little harder for me.
Yeah, German and Spanish, probably not a whole lot of crossover there.
No.
Not too many similar sounding words.
No.
And what do you mean you need to brush up on German? Just take a perfectly good sentence and turn it into a word, and you're speaking German, aren't you?
No, they all have to be nouns when you crush them together.
Ah.
But no, that is correct about German. They do that.
Yes, they've got some of the longest words I've ever seen. So one of the other things that a lot of people like to do is try to eat a little bit smarter, try to lose a little bit of weight as they go into the year. There's an app out called Foodukate. That's Foodukate. So you educate yourself about food. And so it's got a built-in health tracker. Whether you're trying to lose weight or simply want a more balanced diet, healthy eating is a solid goal for anyone. Nutritionists know this is often easier said than done, and it's not an easy way to figure out which foods are actually good for you. Foodukate scans the nutrition labels and ingredients lists and alerts you when there's MSG, sugars, preservatives, and other ingredients that you may want to think twice about eating.
Oh, I wonder if it'll do it for soy and gluten and other allergens that people have.
Yeah, I don't know how flexible it is, but I know that they're updating it all the time and adding features and functions to it. What's nice too is it's make it real simple. They just assign a letter grade to them so that you just deal with, if it's good for you, it gets an A. If it's a little less good for you, a B, then a C. And so you can just, use your standard grading scale to get an idea of, how good things are for you. Fresh fruits will come up with A's, and more processed foods get lower grades.
So that box of Red Vines is probably not going to get you an A, is it?
No, it doesn't count as strawberry.
Dang it.
Strawberry flavor. So another thing a lot of people like to do at the beginning of the year is make a new budget. There's an app called Level. There's lots of apps out there that do kinds of managing things, but Level is very simple to use. It's very nicely designed. It connects to your existing bank and credit card apps, so it can suck in your financial information and give you a picture of your finances in a snapshot. A lot of people have a little concerns about apps like this where they attach to your accounts and things like that. But if you can get past that sense of sharing that kind of information with somebody, their user agreement, I did a little research on these guys. Their user agreement says that they won't use or share that information with anybody. And so you're not taking it out publicly as long as you trust the Level Money Incorporated, the company that makes the app. But it helps you put together spending plans for days, weeks, and months and track what you're doing as well. So it's a handy app for watching your money. And then just living better. Sometimes you just need somebody to kind of help you figure stuff out as you go through the day, things to do, things to help you get moving down the road to that resolution. There's an app called Coach Me. It was formerly called Lyft, L-I-F-T, but to avoid confusion with L-Y-F-T, which is a Uber-type app that allows you to call for cars.
It's ride sharing.
They've changed their name, ride sharing, exactly. So this one is called Coach Me, and it has a variety of different categories. It lets you set goals in a number of those categories: getting in shape, eating healthier, practicing a skill, increasing productivity, and a handful of other relevant challenges. And once you join the challenge, the app lets you set specific goals related to those challenges, and it connects with you with a coach and other users who are trying to do the same kinds of skills. And so you become part of a community, and you get regular check-ins and updates and reminders to help you stay on task with some of your stuff. So those people like you and I, Aaron, that drop out on the 15th, this app will help you kind of stay in the groove, because you got a group of people who want to help you with it as you go through it.
Well, and it's kind of nice because most apps focused on New Year's resolution, it's all about getting fit and eating right. And there's a lot of apps that do that. Runtastic and Couch to 5K, lots and lots of them. Active.com has one, but this one has a lot more categories than that. And so maybe you want to learn a skill or.
Right. It's not just activity. It allows you to go into a variety of different areas and say, maybe your goals aren't just go out and be active and just run. It's kind of a general purpose. Coach me, get me moving, help me remind myself.
And there's a real benefit to being a part of a community.
Right. And we talked about that yesterday with the kind of running 101 and being part of a community, gets you motivated because there are people that you're accountable to.
Keeps you accountable.
And as you're cheering them on, you're cheering yourself on, which is good.
Absolutely. Keeps you engaged in what you're doing, because the reason a lot of people stop doing it is because they get busy doing other things. They're not engaged with it. They just kind of, it was something they said they were going to do, try to change a habit. And changing habits is hard. Yep. Ask anybody who's tried to kick a bad habit. It's hard to change habits.
It is. So we are out of time. It is 6:30. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
We will be back after the break. We're not completely out of time. Got second half of the show, but we need to take a break now. You're listening to KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
This is KCAA.
Here's the latest. I'm Jay Corwin. President Obama is set to tell the nation this morning how he intends to reduce gun violence. Just before noon from the White House, Obama expected to outline executive actions to require more gun sellers to get a license and limit the ability of criminals and the mentally unstable to get a gun. Former President Bill Clinton hitting the campaign trail for his wife Hillary in his first solo appearance of the presidential election.
Elections are determined by just what they're about. I think this election is about restoring broadly shared prosperity, rebuilding the middle class, giving kids the American dream back.
Clinton spoke to supporters at a rally in Nashua, New Hampshire yesterday. Federal agents are rounding up illegal immigrants to be deported. Authorities launching a series of raids in North Carolina, Georgia, and Texas over the weekend. Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson saying in a statement more than 120 people have been taken into custody. They're now in the process of being deported back to their home countries. You're listening to the latest from 24/7 News.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Aaron Brinker. In Chino, we have an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 60 eastbound before Central Avenue. This involves two vehicles in the center divider. Also in Chino, stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Ramona Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 10 west is busy in pockets from Cherry Avenue to Euclid Avenue. In Corona, stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between the 15 and Green River Road. The 71 south is busy between Euclid Avenue and the 91. In Colton, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 10 westbound at Etowanda Avenue / Valley Boulevard. Stop-and-go traffic from Citrus Avenue in Fontana. A crash has one car in the center divider and another along the right shoulder. Ooh, that sounds like a bad one. In San Bernardino, an accident. The left lane is blocked on the 15 southbound before Highway 138. A crash is now in the center divider from the left lanes. The traffic remains jammed from the 395. In Colton, an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 215 southbound at the 10. 3 vehicles are involved in a crash, with 1 in the center divider and 2 along the right shoulder. In Moreno Valley, slow traffic on the 215 northbound between Cactus Avenue and Blaine Street. The 60 West is busy between Day Street and the 215. In Corona, an on-ramp is closed on the 91 westbound at Grand Boulevard. The on-ramp is closed until January 30th. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, flash flood watch is in effect from 10 o'clock this morning through 4 a.m. on Thursday. As we've got showers, possible thunderstorms. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall with a high near 57. Tonight, rain and thunderstorms possible. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall once again, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 44. Wednesday, a chance of showers in the morning, then rain in the afternoon. Rain could be heavy at times with a high near 57. Wednesday night, more rain. Rain could be heavy at times with a low near 45. Showers on Thursday with a high near 53. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
Hi, it's Dave Collins for Snow Country. Well, we have a snowy week predicted ahead. That means we'll coat the mountains right now with some fresh powder and lots of groomed corduroy runs for you to ski and ride down Mountain High. They've already picked up a couple of inches. They've got 8 lifts going for you and almost 10 trails. Also, Snow Summit with over 2 dozen runs. That's 95% of their terrain open for you. And don't forget, they ski under the lights this weekend. Bear Valley with a couple of inches over the past few days. Almost 50 trails available for you right now. Crest Butte in Colorado, well, they've got over 80 runs. That's 95% of their terrain. Ski Apache in New Mexico with 44 runs. Bear Mountain, they've got 20 trails on a packed powder surface. June picked up a couple of inches and expecting a couple more packed powder on over 30 runs. Mammoth Mountain with 150 trails. That's 3,500 acres for you to explore. China Peak going with over 40 runs. That's 1,400 acres as 100% of their terrain is wide open for you. Sugar Bowl with almost 100 runs. More at snowcountry.com. I'm Dave Collins on KCAA 1050 AM and the all-new 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. It's an Oingo Boingo day here on the Brink, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, Tobin, Rudy Giuliani was recently in our area.
Yeah, look, the county has done a lot of things right in how they handled the tragedy at the Inland Regional Center. And one of the things they did was yesterday, as employees were coming back after the holidays to go back to work, they basically had them work a half day, and then they had them all go over to the Citizens Business Bank in Ontario.
The arena.
Excuse me. And not the
went
bank.
to the bank.
Woohoo! They went to the arena.
And, I was kind of like, this is sounding great, man. They're going to go to the bank.
They had some guest speakers for them, and one of them was Rudy Giuliani, and he did a phenomenal job. And so here's some items from what he said. He said, "Come to San Bernardino and spend your money and tell the terrorists, screw you," he said, to loud applause. "You can't beat us. We're stronger than you are." Giuliani got a standing ovation after his speech. They also had Rick Warren there, and he posed a tough question that was likely on the minds of many of the people there. He says, "How do you find strength to go on? What do you do when your heart has been broken in 1,000 pieces? The grieving process will take time," he said. "You don't get over it. You get through it." Warren told the crowd, "You need to feel your feelings and let it out." He talked about how he and his wife had overcome their grief when their youngest son took his own life. He said, "You need to release your grief. Let it come out. Grief is a good thing. Grief is a tool that God has given us to get through the transitions of life, and it's healthy. Never tell someone you know how it feels," he said. "There's only one appropriate response for grief. Just to say that you're sorry for their loss."
Yes, well, and we actually, there was a video going around that you and I think both posted that talked about the difference between empathy and sympathy.
Yeah.
And a sympathy is the way that they described it was quite interesting. It was, well, at least you didn't, and then fill in the blank. Sorry, your marriage is broken up, but at least you were married.
Yeah.
And that dismisses the pain. Where empathy, just you're happy to say I'm sorry and sit with them and hold their hand.
Yeah.
And understand that especially if they lost friends in there, or a spouse, or other family member, that grief is going to come in waves. That grief is not going to go away quickly. You can't say, well, it's been a month, get over it.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Rick Warren's message was that bitterness will eat you alive, and you can't hold on to it. And so it's cathartic and a part of the healing process to let out those painful feelings. And so this is, part of the message. And Giuliani spoke, and he told the audience about how he felt sympathy and empathy for them, and offered prayers and condolences. Of course, he was the mayor when terrorist hijackers slammed planes into the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2011, excuse me. He says, I know what you're going through. I lost so many of my fellow citizens and 10 of my closest friends. You can make us mourn. You can make us cry. There's one thing you can't do. You can't break our spirit. I
think bringing him in was genius.
Yeah. And again, the county...
he's the right guy.
He's the right guy.
The county has just done so much right. And I hope that the employees, the people who work for the county, are beginning to... that they feel that they're being supported, and that they're beginning to sort of... I can't say get past this, but beginning to be able to deal with this in a more positive way and turn the corner. And we see all the signs all around town with San Bernardino Strong. The community really has rallied. I mean, it's just been very heartwarming to see so many people just sort of wanting to walk up to each other and share and be a support to each other. It's really been powerful.
I've heard similar things said. I have a good friend who lives near the community college in Oregon, where they had a shooting up there, and their community rallied, and it does motivate a community. Now, the president is announcing some gun legislation today, and let's talk about that. President Obama is gearing up for another whack at gun control, this time on a smaller scale and without Congress. Unlike his failed push for legislation after Sandy Hook, these moves will mostly enforce existing laws and seek extra funding. The New York Times reports his biggest planned move to remind America that gun sellers are legally supposed to register as dealers and perform background checks on buyers. Other moves include getting more money for law enforcement and pushing federal agencies to research guns. These are recommendations that are well within my legal authority and the executive branch, he said, per CNN. Among the reactions, Donald Trump said, pretty soon you won't be able to get guns. It's another step in the way of not getting guns. He's so eloquent. House Freedom Caucus Chairman Jim Jordan, we may have to go to court just like we did with the executive amnesty a year ago. And then Hillary Clinton, we've got to act, but I don't think that's enough. I think we're going to have to keep pushing forward on the political front, and I intend to do that. President Obama met with top law enforcers Monday, like Attorney General Loretta Lynch and FBI Director James Corney, and he's planning a CNN town hall on the issue on Thursday, which seems to speak volumes. It's obvious, the way that they are rolling this out, that the president and staff understand how politically difficult it is going to be to do, said a top Democratic aide.
I applaud the president for wanting to get some things done. I do. I think that's, he's the leader of our country. He has a vision. He has a goal. He wants to get things done. I have a problem with the way that he goes about doing some of these things. And I get the frustration because he has a Congress that is from the other party and doesn't want to work with him. But I still feel like that there's an obligation to listen to the elected representatives of the people. And so I have a problem with how he's doing this. And it's done in a way, of course, going into an election year, that's designed to maximize people's frustration on both sides and essentially to sort of fire up his supporters on the left to keep them motivated to turn out and vote. And you hear Hillary saying, I'll go even farther, and it's really more about playing politics with this issue than it really is about finding solutions to problems. And that's where I get frustrated.
Well, I think it probably has really motivated the conservatives as well by saying, look, we're not going to let a president become a dictator because he keeps doing things through presidential fiat rather than going through the Congress.
Yeah.
That said, as the story said, most of these moves are enforcing existing laws, and I have absolutely no issue with the president enforcing the laws. That's his job.
But that begs the question: why does he need to have any kind of action on the enforcement of existing laws?
Well, but the government chooses which laws they're going to emphasize and how they're going to enforce them, what kind of effort and what kind of funding where they're going to put the money and how they're going to staff to do different things. And those kind of choices are made by the executive branch all the time.
Well, they're reinterpreting these laws as well. I mean, that's essentially what he's saying. He's saying, one of them is the gun seller loophole at gun shows. And so now they're going to sort of redefine that to say that essentially anyone selling a gun is now a gun seller.
So if Todd has a gun and he wants to sell it to you, it's family, right?
Yeah.
So that now he has to register as a gun seller?
No. What that means is that they're going to say if he doesn't require me to, or if he doesn't get a background check on me before he sells it to me, then now he may have violated the law.
And actually, as I read it, there will be some instances where a single person selling an individual gun may have to actually register, just depending on the situation and who that person is. I mean, there's ways that there's again, they're trying to enforce an existing law by interpreting the language certain ways, and so it's going to apply in some instances and not in others, and that's part of the issue. Why it's probably not a good way to go about doing this. And then I think there's also some question as to whether or not he's actually interpreting laws or whether he's actually changing laws in some instances, and that's what's going to end up being played out in the courts.
I agree exactly, and it is again a very polarizing issue brought up in an election year. I believe designed to keep both sides sort of want the issue to fight over. And I don't believe that there's really going to be much actual positive change that comes from it. And that's the sad
but
thing.
how much of it, I mean, you say it's brought up in an election year. I don't think he had the choice as to when he was going to bring it up. I think that given what's been going on in the recent shootings and the continued shootings, that, and giving his feelings about the subject, that he's tried before. He's continually tried. It's not a surprise. I don't think it was specifically picked for this time because of the politics. I think he felt like he had to do something and show some progress for his party. They wouldn't stand for it, that his party needs him to do something.
But I'm certain that his long-term goal, just like I believe that his long-term goal is universal health care, I believe that his long-term goal is to disarm the United States like Europe is disarmed.
I think so. And he's as they said, he failed in a push for legislation after Sandy Hook. And so, he's continuing to try every venue that he can.
Indeed. Well, it's 6:45. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brink.
It's time for a break. We're on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We will be right back. And we'll say goodbye to Tobin, who's going to be running with his students. So Todd and I will take it from here.
Running in the rain.
Drive safely.
We'll be right back.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that dropping out of high school was my decision. But as a single mom, that decision affected more than just me. To set an example, I had to be the example. I found a free high school diploma program at Learn for Life that fits around my busy life. I have a team of teachers, tutors, and counselors that really care. I learn at my pace in an environment that is safe and comfortable. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
Inland Body and Paint is a family-owned and operated fleet collision and repair shop that's proud to live in and help our community. Bring your heavy-duty trucks and/or equipment to their Fleet Collision and Paint Center in Fontana for expert collision repair services. With 35 years of experience, you're sure to receive quality workmanship at an excellent price from Inland Body and Paint Center. From fiberglass repairs to quality painting, they'll take care of your truck and equipment from top to bottom in their new 64-foot spray booth. By the way, Inland Body and Paint of Fontana repaired and repainted the KCAA truck, and they can do the same job for your car, truck, or heavy-duty equipment. Inland Body and Paint, dedicated to the community and to your satisfaction. Call them today to learn what they can do for you. You can find Inland Body and Paint on Valencia in Fontana. Call them at 909-434-0466 or online at inlandbodyandpaint.com.
Are you thirsty for books that will fill your soul with wisdom, joy, and inspiration? Then take a refreshing and nourishing drink at Alice's Quiet Mind Bookstore, located in the heart of the Agape International Spiritual Center in Culver City, which incidentally was recently featured on The Today Show. From aromatic soy candles to best-selling authors like Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith and a whole host of other visionaries, Alice's Quiet Mind Bookstore has everything to soothe your body, spirit, and soul. For more info and directions, visit agapelive.com today.
The most diversified radio station on the dial, KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Love this song. So there's been a fight in the San Bernardino Mountains. The Forest Service is now reviewing Nestle's water operations in the San Bernardino Mountains. Under pressure from from environmental groups' lawsuits, the U.S. Forest Service has begun a comprehensive environmental review of the Switzerland-based bottled water giant, the Nestle Corporation, and their continuing operations in the San Bernardino Mountain Canyon. In December, a National Forest Service spokesman, John Heil, said his agency has begun the NEPA, National Environmental Policy Act review, to analyze the effects of reissuing a special use permit for Nestle. Their permit had expired many, many, many years ago. And established in 1970, NEPA requires the federal government to use all practical means to create and maintain conditions under which man and nature can exist in productive harmony. It requires agencies to assess the environmental effect of their proposed actions prior to making a decision. The forest has assigned an interdisciplinary team and is developing the proposed action. When the proposed action is fully developed, the public will be invited to submit comments through the scoping process, Heil wrote in a statement. Since its permit expired in 1988, let that sink in, Nestle has been drawing what now amounts to millions of gallons of water from the rugged Strawberry Canyon in the San Bernardino Mountains north of San Bernardino. Under the Forest Service regulations, expired special use permits, but like what Nestle has, remain in effect until they're either renewed or denied. So, I mean, kind of de facto, they've been renewed, but environmental groups with the drought, brought that up and have raised some cane over it. What do you think, Todd?
Well, I think that letting something sit there since 1988 without reviewing it is kind of poor choice by our government and by our agencies. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at it, but when you talk about millions of gallons of water being taken out and bottled in a commercial bottling system when we're dealing with a drought, and anybody who goes up into the mountains can see how dry and dead the trees are in lots of areas, or you look at how low the water levels are in the lakes, makes you wonder why we're doing that, why we're allowing them to continue to take out millions of gallons of water, and what is the environmental impact. And so it's, I think it's very justified that we're taking a look again.
For more than 120 years, the Arrowhead bottled water brand, under many different owners, has been fueled by spring water from the San Bernardino Mountains, which, and Arrowhead was a local brand, and then it wasn't. Nestle is, there's basically six companies that control the world's food supply. Nestle is one of them. It's if you really start thinking about it, they're taking, at a time of our drought, they're at the top of our watershed, taking out millions of gallons of water, and we're not benefiting from it at all. I mean, it's not like we're being paid for it.
Yeah. My question too is their license expired, their permit expired in 1988. Are they paying fees to have access to that?
I don't think so.
And then they're turning around and stuffing it into plastic bottles and selling it to us at at per gallon high rates for bottled water, and that's just not right, and that needs to be looked at, and if it's necessary, we need to shut them down. I'm all for business having a fair shot at stuff, but it seems to me like this has just gone on too long.
Well, and they're Nestle. They'll find another source of their water.
Absolutely.
And this is also, the CEO of Nestle made headlines this summer when he was talking about, that water is not a human right. There's nothing wrong with bottling the last drop of it and selling it to you. I mean, it's not a God-given right.
Yeah, that sounds like the ding dong who's now under arrest for he raised the rate of that drug 7,000% or something.
Oh yes, for the AIDS drug. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just incredibly callous thinking. Something I'm going to talk about in a future tech show is some of the different things that have happened in this year. But we're actually doing large scale, like 200,000 gallons of desalinization now in North County, San Diego.
Oh, that's great.
And, so we got a whole bunch of water just sitting off our coast, or creating our coast, actually. And so, something like that is where I think, the future lies in terms of being able to get to water. They're able to do it fairly efficiently in large scale, doing a reverse osmosis to get the salt out. And they say that provides about 7 to 8% of the water for San Diego County at this point. And so as they can continue to expand those kinds of things, I think that's going to be, solve a lot of the issues that we have with water.
I know that building that plant was very expensive, but I think it's an important piece of technology that we need here in California, because the coasts have a Mediterranean climate, but you go inland at all the way up and down the state, it's pretty arid.
Yeah, capacity-wise, that's only about a fifth the size of one that's using similar technology that was built in Israel. To provide fresh water there, because they also live in a very arid climate. And, it's just, that's one of those technologies that can be absolutely life-changing for large number of people who live in desert areas.
So there's an article that's in NBC News on NBCnews.com this morning, was just posted. Keyless automobile ignition systems are fatally flawed, according to critics. I drive one of the cars that has a keyless ignition. Todd, I think, do you as well?
I've actually disabled it on my car because I didn't like the way it worked, and the remote that they had was not very handy, and so I use a key to start and stop my car anymore.
So you wouldn't deliberately leave your car running after you pull into the garage, but if that car has a keyless push-button ignition, you could forget to turn it off. And I've actually... and with an attached garage, the carbon monoxide spewing out of the tailpipe could very easily seep into your house, causing illness or death. And they've documented 19 fatalities that are specifically attributed to keyless ignition vehicles since 2009, and 25 more close calls. And I have to say, I have gotten out of my car and forgotten to turn it off. I drive a hybrid. It's very quiet, and the two times that I've done that, it's been raining very, very hard, and so I really couldn't hear my car at all.
Yeah, just didn't hear that it was there, and the only way to know it's on is to notice that the dash lights are on when you get out of the car.
Exactly.
And you're gathering up your stuff to get out of the car and try to stay dry. And yeah, it's easily done. And if you think about it, I mean, there are not a lot of really super great reasons. I mean, it's technically the handshake between the electronics is fairly secure, and so that's part of the reason for going to the keyless things. But I found it to be more of a hassle than not, and that's why I actually went back the other way and started using my key again. But not all cars are set up that way.
I wonder. I mean, this is a pretty significant design flaw, and I'm wondering if it doesn't sense the key is right there, because obviously you're not going to leave the key in the car. Most people aren't going to leave the key in the car when they leave their car on. They're going to put it in their bag or their pocket or whatever and go into the house. And because presumably there's other keys on that. And so maybe if the car senses the key walk away, it shuts itself off. I mean, maybe that's the right
Yeah,
answer.
You think that maybe that they could do a software update that could fix that kind of thing. And that's a perfectly good solution to it, right? I mean, if you're not, most people who use the keyless things have the key in their pocket or in their purse. So when they get up and leave the vehicle, it should shut down.
Right. But it doesn't.
You got to flip side that and say, well, how could you be driving down the road and somebody like grab your purse and throw it out the car, then your car shuts down as you're driving down the freeway. So they have to look at, those kinds of things when they make those kinds of decisions. But I think that's probably pretty rare.
Yes. Well, and also if you're driving your car and you get carjacked and that fob, that key is in your pocket, and the carjacker takes your car, does that run indefinitely? Obviously they won't be able to turn it back on, but once it's on, does it matter?
Yeah. Right now, I guess that's the issue, is it does run indefinitely. But the carjacker takes your car, drives about 30 feet, and the car shuts down. Now they jump out of the car and they're really angry, and you're standing there.
That's true.
So, and honestly, we're laughing about this, but the people who design these things have to think about all those use cases and say, well, what happens if this happens? And what happens if that happens? And how does this work? And what's the impact of making a change here? Certainly they want to do whatever they can to not have those 19 fatalities continue, but they don't want to create other opportunities for fatalities, not having thought through the process. So sometimes when they make changes to software and things like that, they have to think about it a little bit to make sure that they're not, making the software change is not that big a deal, but understanding the use case and how people actually interact with it is important because of things like this.
Well, and not surprisingly, there's a class action lawsuit against 10 automakers dealing with this. They call this a deadly defect, this keyless fob. And whose responsibility is it to remember to turn off your car? That's playing out in court, and I think that decision will make a huge difference. And with that, we are completely out of time. It is 6:59. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Drive carefully, everybody, and have a great Tuesday.
Have a good one.
This is KCAA Loma Linda. CNBC News is next. Brought to you by BuySellMakeOffer.com. Go there now and join the thousands who have already signed up for a new and exciting way to buy and sell online. Launching January 15th.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. We could be in for another volatile day. Traders are on edge following Wall Street's worst first trading day of the year since 2008. The major automakers are turning in their December figures, and Fiat Chrysler has already posted some strong results, its best December results in 90 years. The company says sales rose 13% last month. Meantime, annual domestic sales were up 7% in 2015. Some stocks to keep an eye on today. Eli Lilly slashing its 2015 full-year outlook. The drug maker also expecting this year's earnings to be below Wall Street expectations. Amazon says it sold more than 23 million items on Cyber Monday. That's a more than 40% increase from the same time last year. And Activision Blizzard buying video game competition producer Major League Gaming for $46 million. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to Meh in the Morning with C-list guests, boring callers, and that one song we keep playing. Brought to you by the same old breakfast muffin sandwich. It doesn't get more meh than this. Trust me.
Move on from meh mornings. Try the Breakfast Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell. Stuffed with scrambled eggs, bacon, and melted cheddar cheese, plus a whole crispy hash brown, wrapped up and freshly grilled in a warm tortilla. The Breakfast Crunch Wrap. It's more of a meal than a muffin. Wake up with Moss. At participating locations served during breakfast hours.
Sometimes being a genius would really come in handy. Karen, final question. You'll either walk out of here with $1 million or nothing. In what year did the Hicksonian astrophysical capital city fourth president invented? You have 5 seconds. But thankfully, you don't need to be a genius to do your own taxes, because TurboTax helps turn complicated questions into simple ones that you can answer. Intuit TurboTax. Taxes done smarter. Smarter.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is our New Year's gift to you. Circle this date, Friday, January 15th. You're invited to start the new year off right with a subscription to BuySellMakeOffer.com. Some other selling sites can be sketchy, and even others will charge you a fee on every item you list. But with buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell your washer, dryer, cars, or even your home with no per-item fees. And you can use Skype, make a video. You can actually see the person you're buying from, or they can see you, all to better sell your product. Wouldn't you like a feeling of security when you buy or sell? That's why we call it buysellmakeoffer.com. And you don't have to wait until January 15th to find out what the buzz is all about. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and type in your email address so you'll know exactly when the fun will begin. The first 30 days are on us, and then it's as little as $7.95 per month to sell up to 50 items. Join the revolution in online selling with buysellmakeoffer.com.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between Grand Boulevard and Green River Road. The 91 east is slow from Arlington to 14th Street. The 71 south is busy between Euclid Avenue and the 91. In Colton, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 10 westbound at Etiwanda Avenue / Valley Boulevard. Stop-and-go traffic from Citrus Avenue in Fontana. A crash has one car in the center divider and another along the right shoulder. In the Cajon Pass, we have an accident. Two lanes are blocked on the 15 northbound at Cleghorn Road. The 15 north at Cleghorn, a crash is blocking the two right lanes. In San Bernardino, an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 15 southbound before Highway 138. 15 south before the brake check area. A crash is now in the center divider. From the left lanes, the traffic remains jammed from before the 395. In Chino, slow traffic on the 60 westbound between Ramona Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 10 west is busy in pockets from Cedar Avenue to the 15. The 71 north is busy between the 60 and Mission Boulevard. In Moreno Valley, an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 60 westbound after Day Street. This involves two vehicles along the right shoulder. In Moreno Valley, slow traffic on the 215 northbound between Alessandro Boulevard and University Avenue. The 60 west is busy between Pigeon Pass and the 215. And finally, in Corona, an on-ramp is closed on the westbound 91 at Grand Boulevard. The on-ramp is closed until January 30th. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, flash flood watch is in effect from 10 o'clock this morning through 4 a.m. on Thursday. As we've got showers, possible thunderstorms. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall with a high near 57. Tonight, rain and thunderstorms possible. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall once again, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 44. Wednesday, a chance of showers in the morning, then rain in the afternoon. Rain could be heavy at times with a high near 57. Wednesday night, more rain. Rain could be heavy at times with a low near 45. Showers on Thursday with a high near 53. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
With over 20 years at the helm navigating financial waters, he's a contributor to the Fox Business Channel and the author of the Best Stocks Now newsletter. He's president of Gunderson Capital Management, and he's here, live on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.
And welcome to the Tuesday morning, the second trading day of the year. We didn't get off to a very good start yesterday, and I'll talk about that here in the first quarter of the show. What did yesterday's poor start to the market, one of the worst starts that we've had in many, many years, does that not bode well for the rest of the year? Well, we'll talk about that because I was down underneath the water yesterday with my mask on and my flashlight. I looked at several hundred, if not 1,000 stocks yesterday, and I came away with a distinct analysis of what I witnessed yesterday. Right now we've got the Dow, which was up a little bit here this morning Down 29 points right now. The Dow is at 17,119. The S&P 500 is about flat, down about 80 cents in fact right now. We're at 2,012 on the S&P 500. The Nasdaq is down 80 cents. The Nasdaq is at 4,902. And that all-important light sweet crude oil, $36.28. You know, crude oil can be your best friend, especially if you're in Houston, if you're in Dallas, or it can be a big old thorn in your side as it is a cyclical commodity. Gold, $1,076 per ounce this